20 seconds out.
To tonight's Boise State Esports broadcast. We're coming to you from the Game Pants Esports Arena in downtown Boise, Idaho for the Esports Tower Rumble, where talented all-star teams of Esports Tower take on some of the top high school teams in the nation. These talented Rocket League players will battle each week in a standalone bracket. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Michael Fisher with me on desk. And Fish, we are starting out this week with big names competing for each, because we had St. John's Bosco and the Barracudas last week fighting it out fiercely. It's probably one of the closest matches I've seen against St. John's Bosco. And they are going to be here as an Esports Tower team. The Vipers and the Barracudas, two of the top teams that we saw last week, going to be in this week. Yeah, just a small change to the Rumble format. As you alluded to, everyone will be an Esports Tower team, but that does not mean that the high school teams are still out there. St. John's Bosco will be the Vipers now, and that is all part, if you've been watching our Valorant Rumbles, part of the Box Fight Championship, where the winner of the Rumble will get to compete with content creators and pros alike. So it is definitely a very high honor to win, and the Vipers, they're St. John's Bosco. It's the same team. I think they're going for 7 championships, which is absolutely insane. It would be quite a run for them to compete. And every week, we still have the same rules. It begins with group play with up to 4 different groups of 3. Round robin in the group stage, and then the top teams advance to the bracket. It's going to be best of 3, but the finals are best of 5. And you can see this is the Esports Tower Rumble Rocket League Tournament high school competition. Each team this week is competing as an Esports Tower. And Fish, we mentioned the Barracudas and the Vipers, but what other teams do you have your eyes on for this week? Really, it's the teams with the colors in front of them, because usually we have, we've seen the Hammerheads before. The Lynx are a new team as well, but Red Mammoths, Yellow Mammoths, Blue Wolves, and Green Wolves, all different teams, because now with this added stake of competing for BFC, there's a lot of players that will recognize who maybe we've seen on different Esports Tower teams. So it's almost very similar to our All-Star event we had a couple weeks ago, where there's going to be a lot of names you recognize, maybe not playing for the same team. So I'm really going to be curious to see who are those other names besides the Viper and the Barracudas that are standout players that are going to give those teams a run for their money. Well, as we get ready to start the first match, we want to remind our friends on Twitch to support your team, celebrate your success, but also be respectful to all other fans in chat. As we get over to the rundown, we are going to highlight the top teams from the group stage and see some highlights from there. So we're going to get into that as soon as we can. Game number 1 is going to be Barracudas versus Lynx. Starting and kicking off themes tonight for Group A, the Esports Tower Barracudas on the orange side, taking on the Lynx on the blue side. And the Barracudas have a new roster than what we first saw in action last week in the Open Rumble. Yeah, Quez has been kind of that go-to guy. He's been the standout for the Barracudas, but Prodigy and Magic, definitely 2 players I want to keep an eye out for. And the Lynx, also a new roster looking to make an impact. I love to see new teams. And you see right now, 2-1 with just under a minute left. These Lynx are giving a normal standout team a run for their money, but of course there's Quez. He's just going to put it away. Yeah, Quez, one of the top players there. Really, we were talking about last week kind of the player to match the aerial play that we see in St. John's Bosco, who are going to be the Vipers this week. So keep an eye out for Quez, because if there's anyone who can do the aerial acrobatics, it is him. As it passes 30 seconds right now, Barracudas with a pretty comfortable lead over the Lynx. Yeah, I do see Jockstrot on the side of the Lynx. He was a player for the Barracudas, as the Esports Tower does a great job shuffling players around, so you always have got to watch out for him. He was spectacular in our All-Star event a couple weeks ago as well. So the Lynx might be a sneaky team you want to keep your eyes out for. Maybe give the Barracudas and the Vipers, who I think you and I have kind of established are the 2 favorites to run for their money, but the Barracudas are going to start strong here with a 3-1 win in our first group game of the night. They are going to be moving on with the advantage in the group stage. Now we move on to Barracudas versus Vipers, and this is the one, this is the matchup that we have been playing up, and we're going to hype up, and we are going to want to see how this turns out in the bracket stage. As you can see, close. As soon as I say it's close, we get the tie.
Yeah, I mean, these teams are going to be very, very close. I mean, we've seen teams get closer and closer to St. John's Bosco every single week. I know Forsyth Central's been another team that's kept them close. I think they even have lost a couple games to some high school teams. So the Barracudas are right there. They're one of the best esports tower teams in 2-2 with 20 seconds on the clock. This definitely is maybe making Fear Classic, Turbo, and Slayer sweat a little bit.
Especially if there are going to be demos coming out. That was something St. John's Bosco was devastating at last week, was being able to demo against the Barracudas right now. So we have only about 5 seconds left. This could very well be heading into overtime. It looks like that's the case.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. The St. John's Bosco, now the Vipers, have struggled a little bit in group play. They've lost last week to the Barracudas. They've lost in the last few weeks, and then they always come back strong and just absolutely decimate people in the grand finals. So even if the Barracudas win here, I wouldn't get all excited that, the mighty have fallen, because the Vipers kind of like to, take it easy in the group stage and then turn it on in the bracket stage.
Oh, we see an opening here, and Turbo's going to come right in there, pick up the victory for the Vipers. And now that is not all that we have to showcase in Group A. Checking in on another matchup between the Barracudas and the Hammerheads. Kind of a battle of the ocean that we've got going on here.
Yeah, the Hammerhead, another one of those teams with all new players in it, trying to make a name for themselves. They're keeping it close, but a fantastic goal there, I believe by Prodigy, to give them a 3-2 lead. And the esports tower gap is definitely shrinking if you're going to keep the Barracudas within 1 goal and allow such a crazy goal like that with a minute left.
And there's another shot on goal with the save by Visible Prodigy. You're going to want to be paying attention to Loaf that we're taking a look at here. He's kind of a veteran, and there's a goal for the Barracudas. They're going to be putting them to a comfortable lead. But Loaf on the Hammerheads has been with Esports Tower for a while, and he's going to bring some leadership to relatively new members of the Hammerheads roster.
Yeah, we've talked about Quez, but I mean, we mentioned Prodigy. We saw that insane goal. I mean, we've been told that he is one of, if not the highest ranked console player for Xbox in NA. And if you're ranked, it doesn't matter. I mean, I know the console wars, the PC wars have been a raging debate, and they will be for decades. If you're top ranked, I don't care what you play. I don't care if it be a Nintendo Switch. That means you are an insanely talented player.
Well, even if you're playing on PC, I know the Boise State team likes to use controllers there, so kind of a little bit of both going on there. As we see here, Mezzo is trying to dribble this around the members of the Barracudas, trying to find a goal, but now Quez is going to be pushing the ball up into the side as we have less than 10 seconds left towards an open goal. Can they get there in time? It doesn't look like it. That's going to be an overall win for the Barracudas in that matchup in Group A. Well, now we're ready to be going into a highlight match, the Vipers versus the Hammerheads. And the Hammerheads, the group highlight match comes from round 1 of Group A, with the not-so newcomers of the Esports Tower Vipers in blue facing off against the Hammerheads in orange. And we're going to see just how much that skill gap has closed in for the Hammerheads as they go up against one of the top teams in Esports Tower.
So they're going to have to keep the ball off the ground as Turbo, the great shot. Pancake makes a fantastic save, though, trying to get a clear. Can't quite find it, though. Pass over to Turbo. Shot just goes wide of the net. Pancake can't find the clear. One more attempt maybe from Turbo. It's a little bit wide, though.
Side control is still going to be in the favor of the Vipers right now, with the pass over to Turbo, grounded, and a miss there from Slayer is not going to find the goal. So now Pancake with the opportunity to clear. Fear Classic comes in there, stops that from happening, centers it up is Turbo. They're just waiting for the ball to come down. Here comes Turbo shot, and it's just to the right, not going to find anything.
Ooh, Turbo with a great back pass to Fear Classic, stops a clear, ends up bailing on it, so Turbo has to play it himself. Mezzo waiting in the corner. Ooh, collision from a member of the Vipers. Luckily, Fear Classic there to clear it away. Loaf's going to stop it and hit it right back over to that blue side.
Now here comes Turbo. Fear Classic is going to be up near this goal, but it's in second allow Turbo to rotate in there. Loaf is trying to get it over into the corner, and the boost gets stolen away from him by Fear Classic. That boost starving can be a very crucial element of the strategy, as we're seeing here. And the Vipers are going to get another shot just off the crossbar, and Loaf has to find the clear.
Ooh, Loaf looking for a shot, plays it around Slayer, but he can't get it around Turbo. Mezzo rattles it around the corner. Nice clear out here from Turbo. and Fear Classic. Slayer waiting in the net, barely gets a touch on it. Plays it over one wide open net here for Slayer. Just got to get the touch on it. And sneaks it in for the first goal.
This is one thing that I've been seeing that really is kind of separating the Vipers against the Hammerheads here is we're seeing, a nice kickoff advantage there from Loaf, but really that kind of plays into, we've mainly just been seeing Loaf on the front lines here. Loaf being the one trying to get the saves right there, it's barely going to do, but it's been the follow-ups and the rotations just like that we've seen from the Vipers, just a lot better teamwork from them.
Yeah, the side control that we've talked about has been all Vipers. You see on the scoreboard there's 7 shots for the Vipers, 0 for the Hammerheads. And if you can't create offense, you're not going to be able to contest the Vipers. As you see this ball try to put in front of the net there from Slayer, wasn't quite able to do it. Turbo with a bad hit. Loaf in a 1v1, sneaks it past Fear Classic, and Loaf keeping his team in the game.
It is going to be a little bit of a stretch, though, as I still need to see some passes and rotations between Loaf and the other 2 members for me to really be confident in the Hammerheads' ability here. And they're going to be looking for the clear here. Instead, that just leaves it wide open for Fear Classic to center it off to Turbo. And a nice interference there is going to push the ball back toward the center. But now the side control is back in the favor of the Vipers. Over the goal, it's going to drop down there, and Mezzo's going to be the one to stop it from getting in front of the goal.
Slayer's trying to center it up. Wants the waterfall down for Turbo. Pancake barely gets in the way. Slayer going to try one more time. Pops up in the air. Can he play it off the wall? No. Gets the ball barely dunked over him. Mezzo and Pancake combined for at least a mini clear, but the pass intercepted by Fear Classic. One hit, but a great contest there is going to keep us in a 2-1 game.
And now in comes Slayer with a shot on goal there. Isn't going to find it. Now here comes Pancake pushing up the right side. Fear Classic comes right in above him. Takes the side boost, and a demo is also going to come out there onto the Hammerheads as the Vipers are unrelenting in their push. Pancake again looking for the clear with the pass to Mezzo, who takes the corner boost there. It's centered, but there's no follow-up for it, and that allows a clear and almost a goal from the Vipers.
See Turbo going to pass it over to Fear Classic. Slayer retreating to that midfield stripe. It's something the Vipers do so well. They never get too aggressive. There's always someone back. You see Turbo even retreating to make sure they don't allow a wide open net in the final 90 seconds. Shot, Fear Classic can't make the save though, and from midfield, the Hammerheads have tied this game up.
As just an unfortunate miss in mid-air there for Turbo. As you said, Fish, he did rotate back, but he just wasn't able to get the save, but they might make up for it right there as it's just above the goal, but Mezzo is going to be getting the save there for the Hammerheads as we have just about 1 minute left, all tied up, and in front of the goal for the Hammerheads. We see Loaf is going to be the one to get the save there, and a nice clear toward an open net, and the Vipers leave an open net uncharacteristically.
Yeah, the Hammerheads have done a great job in the last 2 minutes. As we see that kickoff, Fear Classic can't quite get around Mezzo. Turbo tries to take a crazy shot. We hear a demolition off screen. Can't tell who it was on as Fear Classic intercepts that one over to Turbo. Great save at the last moment for Pancake. And now you see the Vipers starting to press a little bit, looking for that game-tying goal. Slayer puts it in front of the net. Fear Classic just taps it in.
Easy tap in for Fear, and now we're going to be going into the next kickoff. 40 seconds left now. Kickoff goals, we see it kind of dies in the center. Turbo was there to cheat it out, and it's going to be knocked back toward the center where Fear Classic passes over to Turbo, and ooh, that was so close, but just off the crossbar. Follow-up coming down from Slayer, who's trying to center it. Now Fear's going to center it. It's wide open for Turbo, but in comes Loaf with the pass over to Pancake, but Slayer takes it away from Pancake.
Ooh, Fear Classic with the one-timer, not quite able to find it on the net. See if they can get it clear. Unfortunately, a miss there. Mezzo can't quite get it away. Now Slayer with a great opportunity if he can get the shot on net. A little bit past the ball. Can't quite get it there. 5 seconds left. 1 minute last chance here for Pancake. Turbo's going to steal it away. Can he take the shot with the ball still in the air? No, he runs out of boost, and we're going to overtime.
Look for the kickoff here. Very crucial here. It is going to go in the favor of the Hammerheads, but Fear Classic was waiting back there and is now going to bring it in the center. Isn't able to take it away from the Vipers That's going to allow them to center it up here. In comes Pancake, but it's going to be answered right back. The ball heads back toward Hammerhead goal. And now it's going to be centered up here with Fear coming in, and a double commit there coming through for the Hammer. It's crucial here, off the crossbar again. Possible follow-up from Slayer. They're going to have to wait a little longer to find their goal.
Slayer trying to set something up, maybe for himself. Great save there by Pancake, but all of the shots right now have been for the Vipers. One more chance here for Fear. Classic.
My
Off
goodness.
the crossbar, Turbo bangs it home, and they gave him a run for their money, but in the end, Vipers win, as always.
Past two teams mates in mid-air. That is insane. Well, now we're going to be ready to move on into Group B, and this is where we see all the color teams, and hopefully from the All-Star games about 2 weeks ago, I did like all the colorful fields that we see, but it doesn't look like we're just going to be moving into standard colors right now, and already a pretty sizable lead with the Red Mammoths going up against the Yellow Mammoths.
And the Red Mammoths have some of those names that I was talking about players you might recognize. Spooky, who is a coach, was a last-minute sub. Sunky has been fantastic when we've seen him be on Switch, I know as well, as part of our All-Star event for the Yellow Mammoths. With the Red Mammoths, it's a team that I'm saying you might not have seen them all play together, but if they are able to come together, they might make a run. And you see right now a 3-0 lead. They're sitting in a nice spot.
Pretty nice place to be in with only about a minute remaining. We see here we got two members of the Yellow Mammoths just kind of fumbling around in front of the goal. Not a whole lot of organization. That looks like it's probably the main differential between these two teams.
Yeah, but we also see some really great passing from the Red Mammoths, and Sunky and Spooky have been on a couple of teams together. I think they were on our All-Star teams a couple weeks ago as well. So they have that nice coordination of, even though this is a newer team in the Red Mammoths, they have that sort of, communication and coordination to make some insane plays. And passing, especially if guys are on new teams, make a world of a difference, as we see a great setup there. The ball just a little bit in front of them. The Red Mammoths looking, like I said, a very scary team in this Group B.
Well, and talking about being new players and overall growth, Moonswitch has gone from platinum to champion in his ranks since joining Esports Tower, so just a testament of how much we can see improvement in the gameplay. Right now, that gameplay for the Red Mammoths is going to pay off for them. 4-0 lead in that particular game. Now we move on to the next highlight match. We're going to be joining up with the Esports Tower Red Mammoths in orange and the Green Wolves in blue. The Green Wolves have some familiar faces and are looking to have a good showing in the Rumble, while the Red Mammoths look to continue their run through this group.
Okay, see them with barely holding on to a 2-1 lead right now. Jadro trying to make a great play. But this Red Mammoths team, I really like what they're doing. They seem like they have total control of the game, even in a one-goal game. And they left the net wide open. You can't do that. It was nearly a great pass, but that was a very nice steal from Jay.
Well, we've been talking about new players to these teams, or just players in the teams in general, and Bobber is new to Esports Tower teams, is having a huge performance for the Red Mammoths tonight, but it's going to be the Green Wolves who get the goal there. That's going to be Jay coming in through for the Green Wolves, getting 2 of the goals there. Actually, excuse me, the Mammoths are the one who got that goal. Excuse me there.
Well, speaking of Jay, it's actually sort of a coach's showdown in this match, as Jay and Spooky, both very young, talented players, but also Esports Tower coaches as well. So they're kind of taking each other on, both of them filling in at the last moment. And it's always nice to see, when you're a player having your coach play, you say, see, this is exactly how you do it. I'll go out and demonstrate it, as opposed to, well, you just go do it. I'll trust you. I don't know how to show you. So I really like when coaches do that. And Spooky put on a demonstration. Just barely misses, unfortunately.
Yeah, we might have to have a 1v1 later on in the game. That's going to be a win there for the Mammoths as we move on to the Red Mammoths versus the Blue Wolves this time. The Mammoths have locked in their bracket stage spot, but look to keep the momentum rolling, while the Blue Wolves are fighting to be the last team into the bracket stage. They're having a bit of a tough time at it.
Yeah, the Red Mammoths are absolutely insane. It was also told that in that last series, since these, are just highlight matches, the Red Mammoths won game 2, 14-1 in our last series. So they're putting up goals in bunches as they now have a 6-0 lead. And I'm not saying they're going to be able to knock off the Barracudas or Vipers, but I bet you whoever they play in the semifinals, the Red Mammoths will give a mighty challenge to, because they are scoring in droves.
They are scoring, and we're also just seeing kind of I don't know if you want to call it tilt or just too much of, we got to get goals quickly and very fast here, but the Wolves just seem to be going all in each time and not leaving any sort of defense open. And that really is just leaving them vulnerable to even more goals, and the Avalanche continuing from the Mammoths, who get their 8th.
That was a fantastic pass from Spooky and Sunky. And Sunky's been playing really, really well in almost every rumble he's in. He's just unfortunately, anytime you have to play against the Barracudas or St. John's Bosco, now the Vipers, you're eventually going to meet your end. But Sunky and this Red Mammoths team, kind of a dark horse to maybe make a run to the finals, especially with how they have dominated the Wolves backfield and this Group B in general.
Well, no surprises here. Red Mammoths picking up the win, 8-0. The Blue Wolves are just not going to be going anywhere in that game. The Red Mammoths just were in the backfield, especially the Blue Wolves just left open way too many open goals, and that was sort of their Achilles heel.
Yeah, now we get our highlight match between a pair of Wolves, the Green Wolves and the Blue Wolves here. And it'll be very interesting to see, when a team isn't taking on the Red Mammoths, how they're able to do, because the Red Mammoths just felt like a step above the rest of the competition. So I'm really excited to see how this one goes. And Sir Wolf, who we've seen several times, with a great win on the kickoff. Unfortunately, no teammates there to help him in the follow-up, but already putting pressure on that orange backfield. A couple of whiffs on that ball. Sir Wolf looking for the center pass there to Big Bobber. They're going to combine for a nice shot, but Jay makes a great save.
I'm just appreciative that they actually put the Blue Wolves in blue. Open goal. They're going to be taken advantage by the Green Wolves, because if they put the Blue Wolves in the orange color, my brain would not have been able to handle the conflicting messages. And right now, this kickoff could be taken advantage of, but Jay's going to knock it right out toward the corner.
The Blue Wolves have had really good kickoffs both times, so they've got to. The Green Wolves have got to be careful if they're able to score. Bobber sneaks it home, back post. This is a great chance here if they have another successful kickoff to maybe give the Blue Wolves the lead.
We see 2 members of the Green Wolves committing to that kickoff there. That's going to allow Green Wolves here. They're going to try to fight back after. I don't know if it was a lack of communication there or just trying to get extra insurance on the kickoff, but they have the side control going on right now, and they're going to be looking for a clear bit of a bump into Jay right there, as Astro is going to pop it up and over to get a goal.
Yeah, just a fantastic job by this Blue Wolves team. The names we've seen before in Sir Wolf and new names like Bobber and Astro, and they've been phenomenal. Finally, a kickoff that doesn't go their way. Nova trying to set something up for his team. Scalix also able to push Sir Wolf out of the way, trying to set up Jay with a pass, but unfortunately the demolition totally reroutes that ball across the field. Bobbert waiting for it to fall, but Nova's going to steal that one away. Maybe set up his teammate here for a nice goal. Turned away, though, by Sir Wolf.
Yeah, and 2 members of the Green Wolves there kind of flipping away from that ball, making Jay the one to try to center it up for the teammates. It is still in the corner, as we're looking for the clear here. Is going to come through with the pass over to Sir Wolf, who's actually going to be contesting with the ball right now. Isn't able to take it away from the Green Wolves, but we're just not seeing any really shots on goal here quite yet.
There's been some very good defense by the Blue Wolves, as Sir Wolf's going to hit that one towards midfield, get his own follow-up, dribbling it on net, one man to beat. Can't quite beat it, though. Does bait somebody into a demolition, unfortunately. Now Astro's got to make a save. It's a one-on-one, him versus Jay. Jay hits the crossbar, and Astro with the perfect follow-up. And Jay comes so close to tying this game, but can't quite find it.
Well, is going to be looking, isn't able to center there, so Green Wolves again coming in, trying to get it, but up in mid-air and pass between. There's their opening there, and a very crucial miss. They aren't going to be able to find their equalizer.
A couple more chances like that, though, as Sir Wolf takes a long shot on net. Jay barely gets a tire on it. Bobbert coming in, trying to find his second. Not going to be able to. Nova looking for a clear. Jay's going to take it himself, though. Pick up that midfield boost. Take it all the way around. Set up a teammate. Here they come. Just can't quite get a nose on it. And Jay actually gets it himself. What a hero play there from Jay to tie this game up.
Yeah, Coach Jay coming in flying colors for the Green Wolves, and is going to get the better of that kickoff, too. Doesn't pick up the boost there. Instead, is going to center it up for... That is such a great little bump there off the bump. That is so insane.
Yeah, that was fantastic from Jay to Scalix, and giving the Green Wolves a 3-2 lead. And they've started to figure out this Blue Wolf kickoff as well as another great win. I think that was Jay winning that one. Put his team in a great position. Nova can't quite find it. Astro not able to steal away, and Scalix, oh, just barely hits the crossbar.
Now we see in the center, they're still fighting for it. No clear coming out for either team right now. And Blue Wolves are going to be finding themselves on the defense with a little bit of a flick there. That gets the Green Wolves to a 4-2 lead. And a hat trick for Jay.
Yeah, Jay has absolutely popped off in the last few minutes to really pull the Green Wolves back from down 2-1 to up 4-2, and now he's got a chance again. I think this is going to go just wide. Oh, he hits off the crossbar, sets up Nova, though, with a fantastic shot, upper right corner, and that's going to give the Green Wolves a lead that's going to be harder and harder to chip away at.
Yeah, with about 90 seconds remaining, they can't spare too many seconds here if they want to find those 3 goals. They're going to be able to play it around 2 members in the open goal. It is going to be their first. So who knows? Blue Wolves might be starting something here.
Yeah, great goal there from Bobbert, picking up his second. Oh, wins the kickoff cleanly as well. Only had 1 man to beat, just couldn't quite get there. High scoring game, but Jay's going to say, you know what, we'll get one right back, and he'll put his team up 6-3.
Now we're back in a similar situation. Not much time to spare for the Blue Wolves, and a great kickoff there for the Green Wolves. It actually is Bobbert's going to be trying to push it back up the field with Astro fighting midair. Isn't going to get the better of that one. So now Blue Wolves looking for another clear here. Who's going to be coming through? It's going to be Jay with a shot there, forcing some defense, and a follow-up right there is going to bring the Green Wolves to 7.
Now, always hard when you're the only man on defense and there's 2 attackers charging at you. Worst place to be in Rocket League is Astro. Does clear that one away. Jay's going to go retreating into the corner, whip around on a 180, but looks like he's trying to see if anyone from the Blue Wolves is going to make a play on it. Finally, he'll take it himself. Play it around Bobbert. A pair of teammates going to run into each other, and that ball nearly ping-pongs in, but a nice save there by Scalix.
Jay's going to find a really nice clear there off the backboard. Follow-up, and another goal from Jay is going to bring him to 5 overall for this game.
And Jay may be putting, depending on how the brackets shape out, if the Green Wolves are able to sneak in, Jay might be able to make some plays for this Green Wolves team and maybe build towards an upset. He makes a huge save there as well. I mean, the final's all but determined, but a great save there to keep this as an 8-3 game.
Well, now with 10 seconds left, any Blue Wolves chance of a comeback has faded away. All we need is for that clock to count down and the ball to hit the ground, and we will have ourselves moving into the semifinal matches with the top 4 teams advancing from the group stage. Heading to the semifinal matches as our first seed is going to be the Vipers, who dominated Group A tonight and are looking for their 7th Rumble Championship. Following them in our second seed is going to be the Red Mammoths, who had great play in Group B and huge score differentials on their way to the semifinals. Third seed is going to be the Barracudas, who are looking to stop the Vipers' run and represent Esports Tower in the BFC this week. And fourth and final seed going to the Blue Wolves, actually, for bringing some new faces and serious talent to our semifinals tonight.
Yeah, and this is going to be really exciting. I'm very curious to see how the Red Mammoths do in their first game, because I think they are a team that could upset the Barracudas. The Vipers, I think, are definitely probably the favorites to make it to the finals, but the Barracudas versus the Red Mammoths is definitely the game I want to check out, because I think either of those teams could easily win and make it to the championship.
Well, we will get back to that game and many more right after this. We're going to take a quick break and be back with this week's semifinals in Esports Tower.
BFC is launching the greatest events of the summer so gamers know that they are never alone. Brought to you by Antares Gaming and Never Alone Gaming, gaming teams that build a better future for mental health. And Esports Tower, paving the way for education in esports for the youth. We want the community to know that we stand together and we are united in spreading mental health awareness. We are also proud to announce that we are expanded into new games. This summer, gaming events are back.
Oh, come on! Come on! That's insane! Oh my God! No! Oh my goodness!
Tried to keep it in play. Hey, Kyle!
It's over! Yodi gets it! Chris is your winner! He goes down 1-18! Oh no!
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
This broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble. We're broadcasting from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. It's the first week of our new Rumble format where the Rumble is a BFC qualifier and the winner will get to play with Rocket League pros and content creators. As you can see, Fisher is still joining us and I'm Jem Palmer to call all of the action for you. And now we get to the top 4 teams. Unsurprisingly, we're seeing the top teams of the Barracudas and Vipers going to be fighting it out, but they are also joined by the Wolves and Mammoths. And how are you thinking this first game is going to go with the Vipers versus the Wolves? Because when you're going up against a tough team, I don't know how the Wolves are going to fare.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very tough for the Wolves here. I think the best thing they're going to have to do is try and keep the ball out of the air because we've talked about it before. If you just joined us, the Vipers are St. John's Bosco. They just joined the Esports Tower, so it is the exact same team, exact same players. That team, if the ball is left in the air, there are very few, really, of any teams that are able to match their skill level in the air. The Barracudas are one. Forsyth Central, who we've seen in Rumbles before, is another team. Not many other teams can. So the Blue Wolves have got to keep the ball out of the air, on the ground, and hopefully have the crossbar help them out a little bit. It is going to take a lot of luck to try and bring down the Vipers because they are insanely, insanely talented.
Well, in addition to Fish's thoughts, we also have Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League, and that's going to be the play, the shot, and rebound, disrupt the pathing of attackers, defend an attack boost, and rotate to the back post quickly. Thank you so much. Giving kind of a final Vanna White motion there to the board there. Brought to you you by Esports Tower. Doc's keys to the game, and you can improve your game sense, improve your team play, and performance under pressure. You can get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Let's get right into semifinal match number 1. That's going to be the Vipers versus the Blue Wolves. Remember, the Vipers is St. John Bosco, the reigning champions for 6 weeks, isn't it, Fish?
Yeah, they have never lost a championship when they have been in the Rumble. They've taken a few weeks off here and there, but when they are in, they have never lost. 6 for 6, trying to make it 7 for 7. And we talked about it. Sometimes they've dropped games in the group play. This round they have not, so they're looking absolutely insane. So we see Astro, Legendary Sniper, and Sir Wolf going to have their money cut out for them as Slayer, 6 seconds into the game, in reverse, scores a goal, and that is the kickoff strategy for St. John's Bosco, now the Vipers.
Yeah, insane. Just in the first few seconds, we see the full reason of why you need to stop that aerial play from the Vipers. We'll see if the Wolves can do a better job at it. Turbo getting the better of that kickoff immediately is going to be looked to centered up by Fear Classic here. Slayer is not going to be able to do the follow-up, and look at this open goal left up. That is going to be punished by the Wolves and bring us back to a tie.
Yeah, very, very rarely do you see the Vipers put themselves in this situation, but Astro, in his first ever Rumble, recognizes it and takes advantage of it and puts it in a 1-1 game.
That might have been a situation where they had gotten their goal, and look at Slayer there towards the goal, just a little bit to the left. Sir Wolf trying to get the clear, but Slayer's going to come in and get another goal to reset it yet again and get the Vipers to 1 goal lead.
Yeah, I think unfortunately this would go down as an own goal. Legendary Sniper, I don't think expected Sir Wolf to get that clear, so the ball just wasn't at the right angle. Gets credited over to Slayer, but it's an unfortunate mistake. Plenty of time, though, for the Wolves to reverse that one. Is another great kickoff win there. Astro can't quite find it. Sir Wolf not able to. Legendary Sniper does clear it away. Slayer stops it before it gets past the midfield stripe. Finally, Astro puts it over to that orange side, but for a very short time before Turbo plays it to himself off the wall. He's got a teammate near midfield. Fear Classic. They might have stole that goal, but it counts all the same.
Another great goal for the Vipers there. You can see Turbo. Yeah, Fear Classic probably took that, but Turbo was going to have the was going to get that goal either way. As we head into the next kickoff, the Vipers very consistently have been winning the kickoffs for this game. The Slayer's going to be looking to center it up, place it past Sniper there. Is going to push it over. They have to play a bit of defense right now, as the Wolves are able to find it clear. Going to be answered back pretty quickly by the Vipers. And almost another goal there just off the left post.
The Slayer just barely misses. Sir Wolf now going to try and set something up. Oh, they demo Turbo, who was waiting in that goal to make a play. Unfortunately, they went for the demo and had no one to take the shot. And so Slayer's going to clear it all the way down. Sir Wolf stops it, hits it back over to that orange side. Fear Classic waiting right there. And the Vipers finally have to play a little bit of defense, but not for long, as Turbo and Fear Classic are going to combine for an easy clear.
And there goes Astro right there. Isn't going to be able to get a clear beyond the center line. He's going to come in again, try again, but is very low on boost, so has to go back and get somewhere. Sniper comes in, pass over to Sir Wolf. Now they're looking to get their center, but where's the follow-up? It's not there. So they are going to have to wait a little bit longer for their goal, as Fear Classic looking for their own clear. In comes Slayer. And a little bit of a double commit there from the Vipers, quite uncharacteristic of them.
They still get themselves in a great opportunity. Ball's cleared back. Fear Classic passes it over to Turbo and Slayer. They kind of double commit on that one. Ball does bounce over Legendary Sniper before Astro's able to corral it, hit it over to that orange side. We've seen great clears from the Blue Wolves. Haven't seen them be able to have that follow-up, and that's kind of why they still haven't found more than one goal. As Fear Classic looking to make a play himself, tries to pitch it off the wall, and what a fantastic shot, but Sir Wolf makes a great save as well.
Now that save is going to translate into a clear. Not if Turbo has anything to say about it. Going to get a clear. Wow, that's a great stop there by Sniper. Toward the goal again, Turbo getting another save. And in comes Slayer. Astro now has to get the save. The Vipers, after a few seconds, are going to move in for the attack. They're off the backboard. Follow-up coming through from... Isn't going to be coming through from anyone quite yet. Now, Sir Wolf is going to get demoed after he's able to clear the ball.
Yeah, those demos would be another thing that potentially the Blue Wolves could try and pull off. We've seen some teams get demo heavy on the Vipers, but so far only one, and it's on the Vipers side as we see Legendary Sniper has to retreat. He'll rattle it around the corner, look for a clear, but Slayer is going to be right there. Going to retreat a little bit of gamesmanship, trying to bait Legendary Sniper into hitting the ball so they can take advantage of it. We'll do just that as Fear Classic challenges him. One chance here from Astro, not able to find it, and we see Sir Wolf go underneath that ball as well.
There goes Sir Classic getting demoed, but is that going to translate into an advantage that the Wolves can take? Oh, that is a very lucky sort of own goal there. I'm sure it wasn't intentional from the Vipers.
You see Fear Classic probably just trying to jump out of the way of that ball. Ends up accidentally angling it in, and now we've got a one-goal game. We'll see if the Wolves can maybe make something happen here in this final minute. Pull off, it would be a huge upset in game one.
Sniper's gonna hop over that, gonna be able to push it toward the corner. Turbo picks up the boost. Now Fear is gonna be moving toward the side, gets the other 100 boosts on the side of the field there. Over Sniper is gonna leave it wide open for Fear to play it off the wall and center it. Miss there from the Wolves is gonna leave it wide open for Slayer to push it off the backboard into the goal. It's a wide open goal, but they didn't manage to score on that.
Yeah, Fear Classic and Slayer both retreating. Sir Wolf now in a one-on-one with Turbo, just can't quite get enough strength on that ball. Slayer with a great pass over to Fear Classic, a little bit above him though, so Fear Classic has to bail out. And 30 seconds left, looks like the Vipers just making sure they don't allow a game-tying goal situation.
That's certainly, if that were to happen, then they were definitely going to be, that's not going to happen there. Slayer picking up his hat trick. And I was going to say, they needed to make up for the fact that they had a wide open goal and they did not manage to get a goal there. So a bit of a dangerous situation for them is going to be defused by Slayer, getting his third. And now with 18 seconds left, the Wolves are going to need a goal right off this kickoff.
Yeah, unfortunately, they get close. Oh, Astro hits the crossbar, but not quite enough. 8 seconds left. Fear Classic showing off his impressive dribbling skills here as time will count down on this game. It is a best of 3, though, so still a chance for the Wolves, but the Vipers will pretty comfortably, despite the scoreline, I would say, pick up that game 1 win.
That's going to be the Vipers starting off the semifinals with a bit of strut in their step, but I think you really hit on a very crucial point, Fish, and you talking about the demos being a factor, because even though St. John Bosco, we haven't thought of them as a demo team, they have shown that they can bring out that strategy. Last time they went up against the Barracudas in the final, they just went completely insane with the demos, and so that's kind of a thing in the Vipers' back pocket that they can pull out.
Yeah, and that's something that I think the Vipers have done a very good job of adapting. We've seen a couple of teams. I think Forsyth Central was really kind of the first one to go all in on that demolition play style, had multiple exterminators picked up, and when it got to the finals against St. John's Bosco, they just couldn't get it done because St. John's Bosco just kept demolishing them. And so now, under the name of the Vipers, I doubt anything would change. So this is a very, very well-rounded team. There's a reason they've never lost a Rumble Championship when they participated. So even with all the keys in the toolbox, maybe even if you maybe threw in a 4th player, maybe you might have to do that, because right now I think the Vipers just look unstoppable when they want to be.
Well, sometimes they are so dominant in their performances, it feels like there's a 4th player on the field. Right now we're going to get into the second game. First kickoff in the favor decisively of the Vipers. Fear Classic. I do like that car, though. I do like with the Longhorns. Looks very rugged.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a, distraction there is even Turbo getting in on the action with the new car himself there. Absolutely bangs it home. And you know the Vipers are having fun when they're pulling out the fun cars and they're still making insane goals.
Yeah, I mean, skins can equal wins. So that certainly might be the situation here for the Vipers. Wolves are going to get the better of that kickoff. In up comes Sniper around the corner with Astro. Follow-up would have had to come through there by Sir Wolf, but it's not going to be found. Now the Vipers are going to be looking to get their own goal here. In comes Slayer, fighting for it in the corner where Turbo is waiting in the center. Slayer plays it off to the side again. Bounces off a sniper there. Here comes Turbo. He's going to be setting it up nice and soft in the center, trying to set it up for Slayer. Right now, they're just trying to find the right positioning to go on the attack here.
Oh, nice demo there by Legendary Sniper. Slayer's going to get one back, though. Turbo, I think, was looking for one, just couldn't quite run down the member of the Wolves. And Slayer and Fear Classic looking for a clear here. Slayer leaves the net wide open. You see a demo off screen as Astro shot just a bit wide of the net, and that's going to allow Slayer to be able to clear it out.
Sniper is going to push it off to the side. Slayer is going to wait for the ball to be grounded so he can do that. Push it off his bumper right up toward the crossbar. Again is going to find his goal, pushing the Vipers to a 2-0 lead.
That's a fantastic goal here from Slayer. Sticks with the ball the whole time, able to absolutely flip around on a dime. That puts it in a fantastic spot. He popped off last game with a hat trick, and more of the same from him, and he's picked up a goal alongside Turbo.
Okay, oh, wow. Well, maybe we'll see a bit of next level thinking from the Vipers here. I do not quite know what their strategy was. But now Slayer is just going to say, you know what? Regardless of how that kickoff went, I'm going to get a shot on goal. And followed up by Turbo, we're just going to get another goal.
A great play there by Slayer as well. We saw it actually perfectly here. We might see it again in the replay. He just guns down Astro, hits him out of the way. Believes Legendary Sniper is the only man who could make the play, and unfortunately from the angle he was coming from, really just kind of helped that ball go in the back of the net, and the Vipers absolutely dominating right now. And Fear Classic, I don't know if he was going for a demo or what, but he was hunting somebody on the kickoff.
Yeah, might have a little bit of personal business to take care of right now. They're going to be looking for their fourth goal here. Turbo comes in off the right post, and unfortunate for the Wolves there. Wrong angle for him.
And they'll give Turbo the hat trick. It's a great shot, though. Even off the crossbar, just puts so much pressure on the other team. And once again, looks like the Blue Wolves have somebody coming in from an outside angle, just not able to readjust to how the ball's rolling, and they hit it in themselves. But I would think Turbo would have scored that one eventually, as there's so much pressure right now on the Blue Wolves side of the field at all times.
Astro is going to be pushing it toward Viper territory. Slayer up and in the corner is going to air dribble it right down the field. And actually going to pick up a demo onto Sniper there. Here comes Fear Classic centering it up again. Slayer instead has to backflip and try to meet the ball as Sir Wolf is getting a great push up toward the Viper goal. Here comes Slayer again with another great air dribble there. Is still not going to find a goal, but keeping the side control and the advantage in terms of players going for the Vipers.
Yeah, I think the car and the skin definitely suit Fear Classic if he wants to be the demolition player. The Slayer sets up a great shot there, saved by Sir Wolf. Astro now in a one-on-one, taking on Turbo, but Slayer is going to have none of that. He'll steal it away and deny the 1v1 that we all wanted.
Turbo with the pop off the top there. Slayer is going to be fighting for it back. It's going to drive it around the corner to where Turbo is waiting. Fear Classic now has control. Slayer rotates in. Instead, no, he isn't going to get it. Instead, it's going to be Turbo in midair. Is going to push it towards the center. Now pass over to Slayer in the corner. Steals the boost from the Wolves. Sniper is finding himself with no boost left to fight there. And that was kind of a crucial boost steal there before the goal.
Yeah, Slayer has been absolutely popping off. I know Turbo is, at least at one point a few weeks ago, was the goal-scoring leader all time for the Vipers, and Slayer's giving him a run for his money this week. He has been absolutely insane, adding a second goal to his tally, and I would not be shocked if they maybe go for him to get his own hat trick, as there's Spear Classic hunting demos right off the kickoff, and now Slayer has a wide-open net. Legendary Sniper makes a great save.
And Turbo just looks content to watch the other players do all the work. I'm not quite sure what we're seeing there. It's just maybe just him waiting for the right moment. Right now, Sir Wolf is going to try to center it. There comes Turbo, was just waiting for the right moment to get the clear, push it over to Slayer, who's now going to be fighting in the corner. They are not, the Vipers are definitely not going to be leaving an open goal this time.
Yeah, they do not want to allow any goals in. They want to continue this reign of dominance they have had so far, as the Blue Wolves get a couple of great opportunities. but none of them able to convert into the back of the net. Now with a minute left, we'll see if they get one more chance. And Sir Wolf can't stop Slayer. He's going to try and play it himself. And that hat trick looks like it is his.
Vipers bringing out a bit of the hockey strategy here of just having one goalie in front of the goal at all times. But these air dribbles coming in from Fear Classic have been so great. He uses it to score on that open goal, push the Vipers to 6.
And the Vipers look to close out this game, remain undefeated. It's absolutely unparalleled stretch of dominance here. Make it onto our finals. We'll await the winner of the Barracudas and the Red Mammoths. Both very capable teams. As 40 seconds left, Fear Classic gets demo, and Slayer maybe gets one more chance here. Him and Turbo actually going to combine to blast that ball all the way down to the blue side.
Sir Wolf is going to try to ground it, keep it out of the air, but oh, just off the left post. Fear Classic going to be credited with a shot on goal there. And right as Turbo leaves the goal, there's Sir Wolf taking advantage of the open goal left by the Wolves. A nice goal, but I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference.
No, I mean, Sir Wolf, I don't even know if he needed to touch it. He probably just kind of stole that goal, but it does not matter. They'll take it. They'll prevent the shutout. And at 21 seconds, probably not enough time for 5 points, but at least being able to get one on the board is a nice consolation prize for the Wolves.
Yeah, it's better than saying you went scoreless, so they at least have that. But they are going to instead...
There's the Exterminator.
Wow, so many demos coming through from the Vipers here. And another one onto Astro. They just aren't stopping. They're just doing all of these. I think it's more of a celebration thing at this point.
Yeah, Fear Classic definitely having a lot of fun. Even bumps both members of the Blue Wolves out of the way and opening up that goal for Slayer. So really, Fear Classic did it all. He only has one shot medal to his name, but he has done a whole lot more that we have not seen, and he pretty much guaranteed that 7th goal. Slayer trying to keep it alive. I don't know how he did, but I don't think a teammate's going to get there in time. That ball touched the ground, and the Vipers will win this series and advance to the finals.
Well, I don't know if you could have closed it out in any more of a dominant fashion, but the Vipers certainly were able to win with demos and goals aplenty in that second round. Vipers moving on to the finals. And, you know, looking at the Vipers and looking at how good their team play is, it really reminds me, Fish, that you can see how going it alone can only get you so far. And ultimately, if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. And we saw that in the last play by all of the members of the Vipers. You can see how far they have come since we first saw them. I mean, they've always been a dominant force, but they just always find new ways to wow us. And that's in part due to the resources that they can get from Esports Tower, who can help you improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You can go to esportstower.com to find out more information, and a shout out to all the coaches involved there. Well, that's going to do it for the semifinal. You can see the Vipers pulling out the win. They're going to be moving on to the finals. We will have to find out who wins, who joins them in the finals, that is. It's going to be either the Barracudas or the Mammoths there. So we are going to be taking a short break and be coming back with that next semifinal match after this, so you are not going to want to miss that.
BFC is launching the greatest events of the summer so gamers know that they are never alone. Brought to you by Antares Gaming and Never Alone Gaming, gaming teams that build a better future for mental health. And Esports Tower, paving the way for education in esports for the youth. We want the community to know that we stand together and we are united in spreading mental health awareness. We are also proud to announce that we are expanded into new games. This summer, gaming events are back.
Oh, no, come on! That's insane! Oh my God! No! Oh my goodness!
Tried to keep it in play. Ain't no Kyle!
It's over! Yodi gets it! Trish is your winner! He goes down 1 HP! Oh no!
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full time.
While I work full time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble. We're broadcasting it to you from the Game Pants Esports Arena in downtown Boise, Idaho. This is the first week where the Rumble is qualifier for the BFC Championships, and the winning team goes straight to the BFC event. And so high stakes around for every single team right now. Certainly high stakes for these two teams, finding out who is going to go up against the dominant team, which is the Vipers, also known as St. John Bosco. Very familiar name if you've been watching the Esports Tower Rumble for the past few weeks. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Michael Fisher and Fish as we get ready to go up with the Barracudas versus the Mammoths. Who catches your eye?
I mean, we've seen a lot about the Barracudas. Of course, they do have a couple of new players, including one of the highest-ranked Xbox NA players in Prodigy, so that's always a team we have to watch out for. But I will say the Red Mammoth put up an absolute insane number of goals from the group play games we not only saw, but also that we heard about. So I would fully expect this to be a very, very back-and-forth series where either team maybe comes out on top. I think the Barracudas have the more experienced players. I know guys like Sunky and Spooky have usually had their Rumble runs end in the semifinals, usually at the hand of the Barracudas or the Vipers, formerly known as St. John's Bosco. So I would expect this to be a very back-and-forth series, slight edge to the Barracudas, but I think either of these teams could easily pull off a victory.
Well, both of these teams have shown that they have the strength to get to these semifinals. I would think that the slight advantage would go over to the Barracudas since they were the ones who fought off against St. John Bosco last week. But we will have to see if the Mammoths can go charging in, and that is going to be our matchup. It is the Red Mammoths versus the Barracudas in tonight's second semifinal for the Esports Tower Rumble. Before we get into the match, we are, of course, going to review Doc's keys to the game, presented by Esports Tower, and that's to play the shot and rebound, disrupt the pathing of attackers, defend and attack boost, and rotate to the back post quickly. Doc's keys to the game brought to you by Esports Tower. You can score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up.
Yeah, and I'm going to be really curious because we talked about this. Red Mammoth's team has a lot of players who, in the past, have had great individual runs and just haven't been able to help their team get past squads like the Barracudas, like the Vipers. So I'm very curious to see who's able to get it done because those Barracudas, I'm sure they would love a second chance at St. John's Bosco after last week, which we talked about, where they beat them in the group stage and then kind of got blown out in the grand finals. So they want that, but they can't be looking ahead. They can't say, oh, we got this in the bag. We're definitely the better team, because I think if you look past the Red Mammoths, that's when they're going to get you, because this team, as we said, they can put up goals in bunches. I think probably close to 40, maybe even 50 goals in the group stage earlier today.
Well, let's get into the match and see who is going to be moving on to fight the first seed, #1 seed Vipers. As we head in, kickoff is going to be going off to the side right away. Jay is going to get demoed. Quest is kind of going to get a little bit of revenge for that demo right at the start of the game.
Yeah, and Quest is kind of that, he's the old man now on this Barracudas team who have multiple Rumble championships in their belt, but they've been tweaking with the roster here and there. He's taken over a leadership role on this new roster and is fitting in very well. And we'll see what Magic, it looks like Jay has actually come in for this match over Prodigy. And so I'm very curious to see how Quest kind of handles these new teammates and is able to make better and better plays with them. As we see, this is a fast-paced game, and Quest barely gets a clear away from Spooky and Sunky, who are looking to make a goal.
Now the goal is going to try to be scored here by Jay. Is going to find the second goal for the Barracudas. Man, the Mammoths, this is going to be a tough one.
The Mammoths getting very close. You see Sunky almost able to correct in time. Clickbait in the goal, not quite able to get anything done. And I mean, the Barracudas, they have one goal in sight, and that is winning the Rumble and going back to the BFC, which we talked about that the winner will qualify for. Is Clickbait able to challenge Jay? Magic barely plays it around Sunky in that midfield with a great bump from Jay to open up the goal, and Quez with his fantastic shot. Really a team play there from the Barracudas to be able to score that goal.
And Magic is going to flick it right over to Quez there to score the third goal. This is just going to look like a non-stop onslaught from the Barracudas. When you're down 3-0 and you're less than a minute in, how do you really kind of turn it around, both gameplay-wise and mentally-wise? Okay, make that 4-0 lead. How do you turn it around?
I think the biggest thing is you have to remember this is a best of 3, so it doesn't matter if you lose this game 1-0 or 100-0. The goals don't carry over. There's no goal differential, so if you're the side of the Red Mammoth, this game's not looking great, sure, but your goal has to be, okay, figure out a way to maybe get one goal, maybe get a second goal. Even if you lose this game, if you can find a way to crack the defense of the Barracudas, you set yourself up in a great spot for game 2. So don't just play yourself out just because game 1 didn't go your way. You see right now, it's a great start as Clickbait's waiting in front of the net for a pass from Spooky, and that's something they've been focusing on in practices. Is the passing for this Red Mammoth team? Magic tries to set up Quez, gonna get turned away. Now we see a big clear. Spooky's able to find it, pass over to Clickbait. Shot's just gonna go wide of the net, and Quez is right there to turn it around.
Mammoths still struggling to find themselves a goal. They've been focusing on passing in their practice, and we're trying to see how that passing really improved. But with you're going up a team as strong as the Barracudas that can have such strong aerial play, sometimes that practice can't necessarily come through in what we're seeing.
And Clickbait had a wide open net there, just wasn't able to find it. And you see here Magic trying to set up Jay, not quite able to. Quez waiting, ball actually goes over his head. Oh, Clickbait came racing in, just wasn't quite able to get there. One more chance here potentially for the Red Mammoths. Collision underneath the net for Quez and Jay. And Spooky's going to be waiting near midfield to try and make a stop defensively on this ball.
Now Quez is going to be air dribbling it, stopped by Sunky there. Jay comes in, he's going to keep it in the center. Look at Spooky here, shot on goal, saved by Magic. Now Jay is going to be pushing it over toward the center. Clickbait trying to steal it away from the Barracudas, but Barracudas just have to know that they can't let their defense fall at this point. That's just mainly the main thing that they need to be concerned of, having such a huge lead. And a double commit there is going to be one of the things that they want to try to avoid.
Nice pinch off the wall from Magic. Quez now going to pinch it off the wall as well. Clickbait stops the pass to Jay. The Red Mammoths have gotten more and more aggressive. And Spooky tries to set up a play for a teammate. He's ending up take it himself. Can't quite get it around Magic. Looking to redirect it off the wall. Not quite able to. Every member of the Barracudas, though, in this corner. Dangerous spot to be as Magic pops it up in the air. Sunky tries to whip around. He's not quite able to. And Spooky trying to make a play on it as Quez now in the corner looking for a 5th goal.
Sunky comes in. Jay is going to save that, stop that clear from going through. Clickbait now. Going to be passing over to Sunky, bounces it off the wall. Goal is pretty open there for the Barracudas, and that's taken advantage of by Spooky, who gets the goal.
Yeah, and this is what the Red Mammoths needed to do. They need to be able to just find ways to score goals in this game, even if they lose. Can build that confidence for game 2 and potentially game 3 as Spooky starts the party. With about a minute and a half on the clock here, there's still plenty of time for a goal or 2. Maybe the Mammoths can give the Barracudas a run for their money, but a great start from Magic here. Looking to play it himself, just can't quite find it.
I mean, if you were to play at peak performance, then 90 seconds is probably enough to try to score 3 goals, but with the 5th goal there being scored by Jay, I'm really not sure now.
Yeah, well, I mean, they haven't had 6 great kickoffs, have the Red Mammoths, so it's definitely going to be a challenge, but even 1 or 2 more goals, even if you can get this game to like a 5-3 scoreline, I think that's definitely going to maybe build some confidence. And right off the kickoff, Clickbait's going to blast it in just like that. And, you know, I mean, anything can happen, especially if you see a bad kickoff attempt.
Yeah, Magic just driving right around that one. Might have been trying to get a little too fancy there. Clickbait getting the goal there. So now we have a little over a minute left. Mammoths have gotten back to a 3-goal deficit. That kickoff doesn't quite go in their favor there as much as they wanted it to.
You see Quez trying to make a defensive play on Clickbait, is able to. Still a minute left though as Magic's going to pass it down to Jay. Wide open net, they set it up for Quez. It's a bit too hard off the crossbar. Magic one more chance, going to get turned away as well though.
Now Mammoth, Spooky is going to come in there. Going to be up on the wall with Sunky as well. Here comes Sunky fresh with a full tank of boost. Instead going to be played right over by Quez. In comes rushing in Jay, is going to be trying to clean it up for the Barracudas. Quez gets demoed by Sunky, and now Spooky passing it up and over Magic there. Quez getting demoed. The Mammoths are definitely trying to make a run at it with 30 seconds left. And a nice stop in midair there by Quez.
Ooh, Spooky with a great shot. Magic makes a huge save, but the Red Mammoth showing more and more aggression as this game's gone on. 10 seconds left. Clickbait tries to stop the clear out attempt. Not quite able to, though, as Spooky just misses on it. Unfortunately, that ball will just slow roll into the back of the net. The result's already known, but the 6-2 scoreline probably hurts a bit more.
Yep, that's going to probably put it away there for the Barracudas.
Should give the Mammoths some hope, though. They definitely started to right the ship a little bit after that very, very ugly start, going down 4-0. 3 seconds left. Time is going to tick down, but I think this team of Spooky, Sunky, and Clickbait definitely has the ability to get us to a game 3. As we'll watch the final seconds of this game tick down, everybody decided to keep it in the air. Barracudas maybe want to add 1 more for style, but the ball will eventually touch the ground.
So one thing I noticed, Fish, in that last round was really that the 2 goals that the Mammoths managed to score in that round were really kind of scored off of mistakes that were made in that round. The first goal was an open goal, and the second one was off of the kickoff where Magic just kind of drove right around the ball there. So is that something to really kind of be concerned of when your only goals are basically off of the other team's mistakes?
Oh, I wouldn't say so at all, because, I mean, from talking to some of the Boise State Rocket League players who play around this level, even maybe just a little bit higher, when you get to this sort of grand champion level, the team that wins is usually the team that just makes the least amount of mistakes. There's very little separation between these two teams. So I would say no. If you're scoring only off mistakes, that just means your opponent played a very, very clean game, but you can never expect a team to make that little mistakes time and time again. So I would not be concerned at all. I mean, I do think that they need to start generating a little bit more offense. I think they need to work on their defensive clears a little bit. I think that a lot of mistakes were made by the Red Mammoths, but I wouldn't be concerned at all because, as I said, at this level, that's 99% of the time, Jim, how you score is when a team makes a mistake. So you can't be concerned at all if the team made 2 and you took advantage of them.
Well, we'll see how it turns out. Mammoths needs to get a victory here. No goals yet for either team as we enter the second match here. But that might be a good omen for the Mammoths as Barracudas really started out fierce in the previous round, getting goals right as the first seconds ticked off the clock. So the fact that the Mammoths have managed to hold them to 0-0 with about a minute ticking off might be a sign that they're ready to come back.
Yeah, the Mammoths excited enough to just jump right into this game. And great shot there from Spooky. Going to have the follow-up as well off the crossbar. Clickbait, no, it's so close. One more attempt, 3 shots for the Red Mammoths, and none of them go on the back of the net. That has to be frustrating. They've got to be careful as Jay and Magic nearly combined for a great goal until finally Sunky's able to clear it away.
Spooky in midair is going to lay that. Oh, I thought that was clear coming through there, but Clickbait proved me wrong.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. You didn't need to win the last game. You just needed to find out ways that you could score and maybe win games 2 and game 3, and that's exactly what the Red Mammoths did. They have been the aggressor so far in the first minute that we've seen, and they've got themselves a 1-0 lead. A great kickoff as well from Spooky. Clickbait now in the corner. Barely sneaks the ball under Jay. Spooky trying to race up. Sunky actually gets a nose on it. Demo comes out, and Clickbait's got his second.
Wow. Well, Mammoths definitely coming through in force, exactly what they needed. And that demo proving very vital for them to get that. It's really been kind of a winning strategy for teams that need to kind of come back and win, is to start using those demos to their advantage. And a kickoff is going to go in favor of Clickbait too, as the members of the Mammoth are going to duck back to try to get some boost. They're all full up now and are going to use that to push the ball up the field. Quez pushing it off to the side, but Spooky's right there, answer it back, and ooh, that was a very nice try there, but no goal.
And Sunky came so close. That third goal could have been huge. We'll see how the next 2.5 minutes play out, though, as they're keeping this ball away from Quez as much as possible. Spooky now trying to set something up for a teammate. Magic's having none of that. Going to clear it all the way out, almost to midfield. Jay will take it from there. Nice pass over to Magic. One attempt off the backboard. Quez gets the shot. It's way too high, though. And the Mammoths will survive, and a great attempt from the Barracudas.
Well, we're a little bit over halfway into the match, and Barracudas have yet to get one on the board. They don't necessarily even have too many shots on goal. They only have 4 as compared to the 9 that the Mammoths have put on right now. So they are having a hard time getting things going, and with those demos, a demo onto Quez, it's going to make it even harder for them to push some sort of offense.
The Spooky nearly had a great play, but the boost was stolen out from him at midfield. Quez and waiting for Jay to maybe play it down. Sunky takes advantage of him taking way too long. Magic with a fantastic save, upper right-hand corner. Now Quez with the chance here. Sunky's waiting on net. Makes it perfect play there to just keep that ball away from in front of his own goal. But Jay has a great chance. Sunky makes the save, and the Red Mammoths have come alive in game 2.
Here comes Sunky just to the right of the goal there. Gonna be looking to fight here to center it. He does get the center, and in comes Clickbait, but not quite fast enough, as the clear is going to be successful from the Barracudas. This might be their opportunity to get a goal here as Clickbait misses. Magic is going to line it up and find it.
Yeah, kind of weird here from the Red Mammoths as they kind of just let Magic make this play. You even saw Spooky kind of retreat in the net. You never want to be in that position, and unfortunately Sunky just kind of comes in from an off angle, hits that ball in on the own goal, and now that third goal they missed earlier definitely haunting the Mammoths, trying to hold on to a 1-goal lead in the final minute and 15.
The Barracudas definitely have a chance here to even it back up. All they need is one more goal. And Magic, followed by Quez, is definitely going to try to make that the case. Clickbait gets the save there. They're going to try to stop the clear from coming through here, but Spooky is able to get it. Now the ball is going to be dribbling it, a pop off of his roof there. Now Spooky comes in. It is centered up for clickbait and the follow-up, but doesn't have the boost to get up there.
Quez, oh, he tried to pass to Jay. They just weren't on the same page. He'll end up playing it himself.
Whoa.
And that's one way to make it look intentional. Quez plays his rebound perfectly. And it makes it look like that was his plan all along.
That is insane, and why Quez is why I think Quez has been such a focus for the Mammoths. You know, when you have a player that's, you know, just as good as he solo plays as Quez, the strategy of keeping the ball away from Quez and demoing Quez as much as you can isn't necessarily the worst choice.
No, and Quez has been the staple on the Barracudas. He's been there for all of their former Rumble championships. He sets up Jay perfectly. Just barely misses it. Magic trying to set up Quez. And just like that, Quez has his second, and now he's put the Barracudas 15 seconds away from the finals.
But remember, the Barracudas have gotten some kickoff goals, so we'll just have to see if that's going to be the case.
The Red Mammoths definitely could score right here. They would love another mistake on the kickoff. I don't think that's going to happen, though. Sunky wins it super cleanly. But Quez able to clear it down, and that's not what you wanted if you are the Red Mammoths, as Quez sets it up in front of the net. Magic trying to put the game away, but we're going to get one last attempt here from the Red Mammoths.
3 seconds left. In comes Magic. It's not going to be enough from the Mammoths. The Barracudas take the overall series, but what an effort from the Mammoths in the second game. They're looking like they were going to drive this to a game 3, but it just wasn't to be there. So now the two teams that we thought at the beginning would probably go to the finals have indeed made it there. It's going to be the Barracudas versus the Vipers in the finals for this week's Esports Tower Rumble. Well, Fish, if you want to be seen by, we know for these players, if they want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then they should join the club and go to esportstower.com. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a college scholarship. esportstower.com.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic Rumble. I mean, even the fact that they're able to get the Vipers on board as well just really strengthens the Esports Tower. And now we get that matchup we were talking about, the Vipers and the Barracudas. But, I mean, the Vipers haven't shown any reason to doubt them. As usually, you know, there's been a couple weeks where they've lost in the group stage to the team they end up facing in the championship, and that's when the Rumble starts. Maybe this is the week that we finally get them knocked off. But they have been absolutely obliterating teams. I would be very hard-pressed to see what the Barracudas can do differently from last week, because we said this was the matchup last week, and the Vipers did win. So it's going to be very, very tough for the Barracudas. I think they have a chance. They have some very talented teams. I know I saw Prodigy in the lobby as well, who we talked about, highest ranked, one of the highest ranked NA Xbox players. So they have the talent to do it. But I would think maybe the Barracudas are about a week or two away. You need that camaraderie. You need those games being played together. This is a newer Barracuda roster, and that's, I think, the one thing the Vipers have that a lot of these teams don't, is this has been a roster we've seen now 7 weeks in the Rumble. Nothing changes, and the end result has always been a championship.
Well, we're going to find out how that championship turns out with the final round of this week's Esports Tower Tournament. We're going to take one more break and be back with that final game, so be sure to join us right after this.
BFC is launching the greatest events of the summer so gamers know that they are never alone. Brought to you by Antares Gaming and Never Alone Gaming, gaming teams that build a better future for mental health. And Esports Tower, paving the way for education in esports for the youth. We want the community to know that we stand together and we are united in spreading mental health awareness. We are also proud to announce that we are expanded into new games. This summer, gaming events are back.
Oh, no, come on! That's insane!
Oh my God!
No! Oh my goodness!
Tried to keep it in play. Kyle!
It's over! Yodi gets it! Trish is your winner! He goes down 1 HP! Oh no!
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full time.
While I work full time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena, and this is the first week where the Rumble is a qualifier for the BFC Championships. The winning team goes straight on to the BFC event to compete against pros, players, and content creators. I'm still your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Michael Fish Fisher. And Fish, we have seen the two teams that we kind of predicted would be in the finals in the finals, the Vipers and the Barracudas.
Yeah, I mean, these teams came in as probably the prohibitive favorites. They faced each other in the group stage, which is a very close game, but the Vipers did come out on top. If you are just joining us, the Vipers are St. John's Bosco. Down to the names, they have just joined the Esports Tower to be able to qualify for the Box Fight Championship. So nothing has changed for them, and if they absolutely dominate, I don't think anyone will be shocked. But this is a very, very talented Barracudas roster that's been slowly tweaked throughout the weeks to be able to challenge this St. John's Bosco team, the Vipers, and I think they're getting very, very close. We know how talented Quez is. Magic is very, very good as well. We haven't seen too much of Prodigy. He wasn't in for the semifinals, but is a very talented player from what we've heard. So this is a Barracudas team that I think can pull off what would still probably be considered an upset. But the Vipers, we just know how talented they are, and it doesn't matter how many weeks we've seen them, how many times we tell teams exactly what they need to do, they find out a way to get it done time and time again.
Well, those are going to be the two teams that have a chance to go on to BFC, but right now they have to take into account Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League, which is to not let them have multiple attempts at a goal, clear the ball at angles, steal boost, and bump and demo to disrupt. Those are Doc's keys to the game, brought to you by Esports Tower. where you can improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You can score pro advice at esportstower.com, and you'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. All right, this is our matchup. It is the Barracudas versus the Vipers in what is going to be the final for the Esports Tower this week, a best of 5.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very, very interesting. And I think that will say with that last key for Doc's key, you got to be careful that if you don't practice demoing, which on paper seems like it should be just really easy, you just run in, you just, blast somebody out of the way. If you accidentally demo somebody and take yourself out of rotation, that is a lot worse than just letting that guy go by. So you have to make sure that you are well-versed at these demos to kick off game 1. And as always, Slayer's going to win that kickoff with ease. But it looks like the Barracuda's ready for it. They're all going to retreat in. Now Prodigy, who is back in, as we talked about, one of the best NA Xbox players, able to get a stop and a clear there with Quez.
Save is going to come out from Turbo there as Prodigy comes in, is going to try to center it up. Fear Classic disrupts that and pushes the ball way back over to Barracuda's territory. Nice clear there out from the Barracudas. Now they're going to be on the attack here. Prodigy not going to be able to find the ball. Sphere Classic picks up the boost there. Open goal is no. Quez, very last minute save there.
Yeah, fantastic job here as Prodigy's going to clear it down to Quez. Oh, they played around Turbo perfectly. They unfortunately will have a Prodigy demoed though off screen as Sphere Classic going to play that one around Quez. Great stop at the midfield stripe though by Prodigy, fresh off that respawn, and looking to make a play as he's going to center it back up. There's just nobody there for the side of the Barracudas.
Now Slayer, actually Turbo is going to be on the side with the pass over to Fear. It's just going to go off and to the right. Magic with a nice flick there is going to push it down the field. Slayer with the pass over to Turbo is going to get the clear. And now it's their turn to try to get a goal.
Okay, you see there, Slayer centers it up. Fear Classic charging in, not able to find it. And Turbo holding back defensively, able to challenge Magic at the last moment. Prodigy shot stayed by Slayer. And now Turbo's going to try and dribble it down. Pass intercepted, though. They do demo Quez, though, for his troubles. And now this back and forth game gets the ball right back to that midfield stripe.
Prodigy around the corner here. Magic is just going to miss it in midair. Here comes Turbo, who's going to be looking to center it up with Fear Classic, and they try to get the goal, but not going to be able to get it. So now Quez is going to be able to find that clear. He's going to go back where Magic has to fight Slayer for it. Slayer has managed to center it. Ooh, Prodigy is going to stop any goal from happening there and clear it back towards the Vipers.
Ooh, Prodigy with a great play there. Quez gets our first goal of the game just barely before we reach the halfway point. And it starts with a great shot there by Prodigy. No one cleared the rebound, and Quez barely beat Slayer to that ball.
Now we move on to the next kickoff here. It's going to kind of die in the center of Fear, and then it's going to be quickly bounced back by the Barracudas. They managed to get the early side control here. Fighting with the Vipers. Fear looking to clear it around the corner, picks up the corner boost, pass over to Slayer, pops it off his roof, and back toward the goal, just up and to the right. But the Barracudas are able to push that off to the side. Ooh, a miss there. Oh, and Prodigy coming in very clutch there to stop a goal from tying it up.
Magic looking to give a bit of insurance to the side of the Barracudas, not able to find it. Quez can take a shot, we'll get a double demo, so Slayer and Magic both gone in the 2-on-2. Visible Prodigy absolutely slams it home, and the Barracudas have the Vipers in a very unfamiliar spot, trailing in game 1, down 2 goals.
Well, the Vipers kind of overall can they have had a history of kind of stumbling at first, but then really coming alive. So maybe they just need a little bit more time to fully come alive. Like Slayer right there, he's going to get the first goal for the Vipers and keep their hopes alive.
Turbo, a fantastic play there. Just absolutely great job by Slayer as well. I mean, this is uncharted territory. The Vipers have never dropped more than 1 game in any of their 6 final appearances and have 3-0'd 5 of the 6 times, so they are not used to trailing in the grand finals. But it looks like the gap might be closing. As we see here, Magic going to clear that one away over to Quez. Just over a minute and a half left. Magic looking at one more, and Slayer can't get there in time, and the lead's back up to 2.
Wow, that is pretty insane there. Magic coming through. Slayer can't get there in time. And Vipers, I don't know if I have ever seen them at this much of a goal deficit. Usually if they are behind, they keep it to 1 goal, but this is turning out to be quite an upset here from the Barracudas, although calling it an upset is really selling it short because we have seen the improvement from the Barracudas week over week, and it has all led up to this.
We do see Magic now going to try and get another goal. Turbo wants to clear it away. He's the guy you look to. He's the leading goal scorer for the Vipers in their Rumbles. He needs a big one here as Quez trying to put it away. Prodigy hits it home. And a 4-1 lead with just over a minute left is not where anyone expected game 1 was going to go between these two teams.
Turbo is left in the goal there. Doesn't have the time to jump up. Less than a minute left. Kickoff stays in the center. Quez is going to try to wrangle it up. Does manage to get some control over it. Pushes it toward Fear Classic now over to Slayer. Magic up and over their own goal. They just trying to ground it right off the backboard there, but no goals thus far.
Slayer with a great pass over to Fear Classic. Back to Slayer on the give and go, but a huge read by Magic's going to stop that one in its tracks. Turbo now retreating. He's taking a defensive role so far this Rumble. And his team needs him to be the goal scorer as Visible Prodigy nearly hits it off the crossbar twice. Quez comes in. And with time ticking down, the Barracudas are going to have a statement victory here in game 1 of our grand finals with more on the line than ever before.
Well, there's 1 week that they would want to win. It would be now to move on to those championships. Ball is going to be pinched off to the side there. Now here comes Turbo, is going to be stolen away from him by Magic, also credited with a save. Quez in mid-air, grounding it toward Visible Prodigy, picks up the boost. He's now going to pass it over, gets taken away by Fear Classic. It's back over to Quez. Slayer, they're fighting for possession of it. The Barracudas pretty firmly have control of this ball right now, despite Turbo's best efforts. Ball just needs to be grounded, and the first win going to the Barracudas. What a story this would be if this is the week that they manage to beat the Vipers. All it needs is just hit the ground already. Thank you very much. Barracudas win that first game. But Fish, we cannot count the Vipers out because the Vipers were the team that not only have managed to really come back against the Barracudas, but they came back last time they fought the Barracudas with a whole bunch of demos. So look out for them to maybe do the same thing again.
Yeah, I'll be very curious to see just how the Vipers react because I don't think we've ever seen them lose a game 1 before. As I mentioned, 5 of the times in their grand finals they've 3-0'd somebody. They've never lost. I do believe Forsyth Central's the only other team to ever take a game off them, but that was, I think the series was already 2-0. Forsyth had a battle back, scored a goal, I think with time nearly expiring or in overtime. They've never kind of been obliterated, and they've never been obliterated in game 1. So these 60 seconds that we take between games have probably been never more crucial than they are right now for the Vipers because this is not familiar territory for any of us who've been watching these Rumbles week in and week out. And this is going to be kind of the question is how do you respond if you're the Vipers and if you're the Barracudas? Don't get too far ahead of yourself. It is a best of 5, so you've now got to win 3 games instead of just a 2 for a best of 3. And I would not be shocked, honestly, if the Vipers just come out and absolutely just maul the Barracudas in the ground, something like 6-0, 7-1, because I think it's kind of, you know, how do you respond, as Chose and my Madden co-host like to say, how do you respond when you get punched in the mouth? And I would expect the Vipers to come back with a little bit of a sting.
Well, just as a little bit more of context, the Vipers have never dropped more than 1 game in the finals. They have 3-0'd their opponent in 5 of the past grand final appearances. The only team to get any victory against them in the finals is the team that's currently in the lead, the Barracudas.
We'll have to see is Slayer now going to pass that one down to Turbo. That's what you want to see, Turbo in a more aggressive role. As him and Slayer trying to combine for an early goal. Quez now trying to pass it over. Slayer intercepts that one. And Magic's just going to pinch that one over to Quez, who's looking to try and get them into more uncharted territory with a lead here, but Fear Classic's going to make a great save, and there's those demolitions you were talking about.
Here comes Fear with the pass. Oh, the pass is going to be intercepted by Quez. Now Prodigy is going to take it away from Slayer, and in come the Barracudas with a mission. They're going to try to get that mission as Magic with a quick little pass over to Prodigy to fight Turbo for it. Turbo gets a very nice save there. Save might actually turn into a clear. Prodigy over to Magic. Slayer with a nice save there. Barracudas are going to be leading with 2 shots on goal compared to the Vipers 1.
You see Turbo now looking for a clear, but Magic in a great spot there. Quez going to bounce it off the backboard, but Fear Classic down to Turbo, who's now in a great spot. Visible Prodigy makes a great save. And Quez looks to clear it. Pass over to Visible Prodigy. Intercepted right by Fear Classic, and the Vipers playing on a whole new level. As Magic now tries to play it around Turbo, not quite able to find it. Fear Classic just can't get the Prodigy in time. And another great save with this ball on the blue side for way too long. Don't give them multiple attempts, and that's exactly what the Vipers just had.
Turbo, look out for him with the pass over to the backboard. Might follow it up. Man, that was right in front of the goal, but with a lot of speed as well. Barracudas are able to recover from that. We're already 2 minutes into this match. No goal for either team. Shot on goal from Visible Prodigy. Quez is hanging out in the back here, ready to play some defense along with Prodigy, and a double commit there is going to come out from the Barracudas.
Prodigy's going to play it around a couple. Open nut for Magic. And just like that, the Barracudas, almost the same point they scored their first goal in Game 1, have themselves a 1-0 lead in Game 2.
That is great play there from the Barracudas. Can they bring it to a two-goal lead is where I would really start to think that they might really have a chance to win this. But a 1-goal lead just with the type of team that the Vipers are, I can't necessarily say that it's too much. It isn't put away for the Barracudas in any form right now. Turbo there is going to be Fear Classic actually fighting with Quez there. Quez is going to get possession of it. There comes Turbo in to take it away from Quez. Slayer pushing it up the field. Pass over to Fear Classic, who picks up the 100 boost and is now ready to clear it back over. Prodigy stops them in their tracks. He's going to be fighting in mid-air for it. It goes above Slayer, left to Turbo with a nice flick up and over Quez there. Magic's going to be credited with the save, but nothing really major coming through from the Vipers just yet.
Fear Classic with a great pass from Slayer. Gets stolen away from by Prodigy, though. Slayer keeps it alive. Turbo's going to just bang it on the net. Quez makes a fantastic save, looking for the clear. Can't get it around Slayer, though. He's going to keep that ball alive. Prodigy barely gets it towards midfield. Quez dodges out of the way. Fear Classic just going to punch it right back and take it himself before Quez makes a fantastic save. And we stay in a 1-0 game with Slayer. One last chance, turned away with ease.
Now Fear Classic going to be playing it toward the corner. Slayer is going to be meeting with Quez there. Quez gets the better of that one. Here comes Turbo centering it up for Fear Classic. Not going to get a shot on goal. There was some great disruption by Magic, who's now going to get passed over to by Prodigy. Prodigy gets bumped out of the way there. That's some great interference from the Vipers, disrupting the Barracudas' play. Now here comes Turbo over toward the goal. Prodigy has to save it, and does.
Fear Classic trying to get a pass over to Slayer. Gets intercepted by Magic. The Barracudas have done a fantastic job trying to slow down the aerial play, but now they're in a one-on-one. Prodigy makes a great save. And we're a minute away from a place we've never been before. With the Vipers down 2 games in the grand finals, and Magic gets a demo and a great clear into the corner. One more goal would be just exactly where they want to be. Prodigy has to make a huge save on Slayer charging in.
Turbo shot on goal. Very clutch save there by Quez. Now here comes Slayer, is going to try again for the goal, up and in the left corner, saved by Prodigy. Quez off of the ceiling is going to ground the ball down toward Prodigy, who pushes it off to the corner. And all they need to do is just keep some side control going and run out that clock. And a demo onto Turbo before he scores and equalizes it.
Yeah, unfortunately, maybe if you were the Barracudas, wish you would have pushed more down and had a chance at a goal instead of playing defensive, because Quez just barely misses that ball. We couldn't see it through the smoke of the explosion, and that's exactly what the Vipers wanted there, is a chance to win this game. We'll see if they can do it in the last 14 seconds as Prodigy, with a great win off the kickoff, does get demoed though. Magic shot turned away by Fear Classic. One more attempt, and I think Magic accidentally saved that ball for Quez, and that would have been the game winner. Instead, it looks like we're heading to overtime.
Well, Turbo certainly earned his goal there. Look at all the shots on goal. 7 from him alone here. He definitely wants to keep the Vipers' hopes alive as we head into overtime. And it's in front of the Vipers' goal right now. Fierce fight. The clear is not coming out for the Vipers. Here comes Fear. No, gets bumped into by Quez. They're stopping the clear from coming through. And now in midair, here comes Prodigy. Shot on goal, saved by Turbo. But the Barracudas are fighting fierce for this win.
Turbo's going to clear it all the way down into that corner. Quez plays it around one, but Fear Classic has the follow. Quez stops that one. We hear the demolition onto Magic off screen. Oh, bad pass. Slayer nearly ended this game. Quez thought a teammate was there, and now Turbo's going to retreat. 7 shots. Can he add one more to his name, the game winner? The answer appears to be no, as he can't play it around Magic. Magic tries to set it up. Prodigy's going to go up in the air. Stopped by Slayer. Quez can't recenter it. The Barracuda's not going to have a chance here. Turbo clears it away one more time.
Here comes Magic around the corner, centering it up for the team. It's just a bit too high and a bit too fast there for a follow-up. They're going to try again as Prodigy is going to come in, miss the ball. They're leaving for Magic, and I actually think he was leaving it for Magic there, because Magic saw his opportunity.
It's a great play, dominant overtime period by the Barracudas. Magic sneaks it past Fear Classic, sneaks it past Turbo, and for the first time ever, the Vipers have not only dropped 2 games, but if they're able to come back, it would take them to a Game 5, which is a place they have never been before.
It's quite insane, and the Vipers, St. John Bosco, finding themselves in a position where they need to carry out an entire reverse sweep for this to happen. And I have to say, I would have expected the demos to really come out from St. John Bosco, but they have been pretty even from both teams.
Yeah, St. John's Bosco has never been too demolition heavy in the most part, but I think the Vipers are definitely going to, I would assume, push the pace just a little bit more. That team has really been built around Slayer and Turbo kind of combining on some insane aerial plays. Fear Classic also just kind of hangs out there, so I would expect for Fear Classic to be on the defensive and just let Turbo and Slayer, do their thing and absolutely pop off is exactly what I think they want to do.
There's going to be some fierce fighting in the middle of the field right there as Magic is going to push it over toward the Vipers' goal. Slayer comes in, is going to be stopped by Prodigy. Turbo plays it over him as Fear Classic gets demoed by Magic. The Vipers are still going to keep the side control in their favor. Fear Classic, now newly rezzed, is going to come back into the fight with Prodigy for that ball. Prodigy pushing it up toward the center. Here comes Turbo, is going to pass it over to the side. Fear Classic takes the ball around the corner, looking to center it up for a possible follow-up off the crossbar, and no goal quite yet.
Yeah, I think one of the big things that has allowed the Barracudas to put themselves in this spot is visible. Prodigy takes a shot. It does get turned away as they've been working extensively on some outlet passes, looking to extend plays with long 2-touch passes. And I think that practice alone has definitely gone a long way in getting the Barracudas up early on this Vipers team. Magic makes a very risky save, and that was really the first mistake we've seen, and Slayer makes them pay 100%.
Here come the Vipers getting their first goal there. So this could be the start of their long road back to getting the win here.
And, we see this kick up, tie it up. Another tie up there. Slayer wins it cleanly. Here comes Turbo. That's exactly what you wanted to see. Hits off the crossbar, though, unfortunately. And Slayer's now going to try and keep this one alive. Fear Classic just hanging out at the midfield, exactly where he has been for so many championships for this Vipers team. The ball gets cleared away. Now he's got to retreat. Turbo already back in an excellent position, though, and that man is all over the map at all times.
There goes Quez, is going to find the equalizer for the Barracudas, tying it up there. Some great play over Turbo right before Slayer can get to it. Now it's all tied up.
It's a great goal by Quez there, getting around all three members of the Vipers, barely missing on it. Ooh, Visible Prodigy with a great win on the kickoff. Fair Classic now in the corner, looks to get a clear going. Magic's gonna challenge him though. Ball's right in front of the net. Slayer misplayed it. But Quez not quite able to make and then pay for it. Can't quite stop the clear as well as Fear Classic's gonna bump it down. Him and Turbo in the exact same spot. Visible Prodigy is gonna steal it away from both of them. And now he's just gonna clear it away. Quez, one-timer, bit high though.
Right off the backboard there, Prodigy comes in. Slayer's gonna fight him for it in the corner. Here comes Magic. Not gonna be able to find it. Quez making an effort at it though. It's gonna be saved by Slayer. Right now they're still fighting in the center. Turbo is very gradually pushing it up though, getting the side control going for the Vipers.
Slayer now. Ooh, thought Quez was going to take that ball off the wall and predicted it and missed on it, but Turbo was right there. Visible Prodigy. Ooh, barely missed touches on the ball. Turbo's going to bump him out of the way. Gets the double demo. And Turbo's the hero. Slayer gets the goal, but that is exactly the two-man combo you wanted if you're a Vipers fan.
The entire front line of the Barracudas just falls. Vipers take the lead.
Now let's see if they can hold on to it, unlike last game where they let that slip away in the final moments. Another evened up kickoff, which is a huge positive for the Barracudas, because that is how the Vipers have dominated these Esports Tower Rumbles, is kickoff win after kickoff win. Magic and Fear Classic get tied up in the quarter. Turbo at that midfield stripe, gonna take a shot. Quez will come out and make the save. Is there a follow-up for Slayer? Looks like there will be. He'll rattle it around the corner. Ball comes out to the midfield stripe. Turbo, aggressive play, but Quez's shot is offline and he can't make him pay.
Now around the corner, gonna meet with Magic there, who pushes the ball back. Slayer's gonna fight him, able to go under Viper there. Prodigy rotates in, keeping the side control in the favor of the Barracudas. Now clear attempt coming through here, stopped by Magic, who's gonna do a little bit of mid-air dribbling, but doesn't have the boost to keep it going. Quez comes in, Fear Classic, nice stop there. Now Magic yet again with a pop off the roof, over to Visible Prodigy. Turbo is playing defense right next to the goal, toward the left post, and no goal for the Barracudas.
Visible Prodigy's got to be careful. That ball's right in front of the net. The Barracudas need a clear. Slayer setting up Turbo. The shot's just too weak, however. Visible Prodigy can't quite get the clear. Fear Classic comes charging in. Turbo, one more attempt. Gets beat to the ball, though, by Magic. Able to keep it alive, but Quez looks to find a clear here with just 1 minute left, and the Barracudas are in search of offense. Maybe a chance at overtime or a series winner.
Ooh, there goes a demo onto Magic from Fear Classic. Look at Turbo there, mid-air, plays it around Prodigy. Magic is the only one left to try to get follow-up from Slayer. Oh no, could they have left their own goal open? No, Turbo comes in and is able to get the save there. Keep any sort of Barracuda counterattack from going.
Yeah, Turbo does such a great job recognizing when he needs to retreat. Fear Classic gets a demolition. They set up Turbo, but a great contest there by Quez. Magic now going to clear it down towards the midfield stripe. Fear Classic is there and intercepts the pass. We saw the Barracudas member fly right underneath him. Turbo's just going to bang it towards the other net. Visible Prodigy turns it around. There's no offense, and the Barracudas starting to run out of time, and their chance at a sweep looks like it's going to die here in the next 5 seconds.
And just by the skin of their teeth, Vipers pulling out the victory there. Oh, not a moment too soon. And they're going to drive this to a game 4. Actually, no, we are guaranteed to see, no, still a game 4 right now. Might not see a game 5. The Barracudas still have 2 chances to win it, but I gotta say, Turbo coming through in flying colors with those demos. That was probably the play of the night.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is exactly what the Vipers needed to do, which was get Turbo going and get Slayer, who's been absolutely insane in this week's Rumble, kind of complimentary. And then you have Fear Classic, who is that solid player. You don't need a team with 3 stars. You need a team with 2 stars and a very, very solid player who's capable of holding his own. And I think that is exactly what Fear Classic brings to this Vipers team, and I love him fitting that role. Turbo is just insane. That man, I feel like, has always 100 boost because he'll take a shot and then he'll somehow be in the goal to defend against a long clear. So I would absolutely absolutely be shocked if we don't have another one-goal game on our hands. I mean, the Vipers are, the favorite team. They have an average MMR of 1,900. The Barracudas are at 1,750. So it's very impressive the Barracudas have given them a run for their money, but they cannot get in their head. They've got to find a way to win this series, because the longer and longer you leave that sleeping giant lie, the scarier and scarier it gets. His Turbo nearly puts a shot in, and Slayer will do it himself.
They do not want to waste any time at all getting to a position that they are familiar with, and that is leading with only 10 seconds in there. Slayer getting the first goal for the Vipers.
Yeah, and that is the combo, though. Turbo sets all of that up on the kickoff, ends up taking 2 players for the Barracudas out of the play. And then Slayer in a one-on-one. Oh, what a nifty move on the kickoff. I tell you, the Vipers have insane kickoff strategy. Slayer shows off another one right there. Turbo tries to center it up for Slayer. Not quite able to find it. Magic's going to clear it away, but if you're the Barracudas, you've got to be careful, because that was insanely slick and nearly led to a kickoff goal.
Now the ball is going to be placed all the way back toward the Vipers' goal. Here comes Prodigy trying to make something happen there, but it's going to be left up to Magic here to ground the ball. Maybe set it up for Prodigy on the ground. Slayer pushing it off to the side, though. And Quez isn't going to be able to stop the Vipers from pushing it back over. Here comes Prodigy looking for a clear, not going to be able to play around Fear Classic. Up and off the ceiling. Turbo there toward the center. He's going to try to center it up again for a follow-up from Slayer, who's going to find it.
Just the communication for the Vipers is insane. You see it in this play, you think, oh, Fear Classic's going to take it. No, he immediately knows, I've got to retreat for a counterattack. Turbo does it himself, sets up Slayer once again. This team is all on the same page, and that's why they came in as the favorites. That's why they're so dominant, looking for their 7th championship, and that's why they have a 2-0 lead right now as Turbo with another fantastic win. And hey, I've seen that play before, except this time Magic makes a save, and oh, Visible Prodigy nearly dribbles it into his own net.
Well, maybe a little bit of a frustration demo coming out onto Slayer there. Now with full strength from the Vipers, they are going to be looking to push this back into the blue field. There goes Fear Classic over to Turbo, who might be able to redirect it into the goal, is able to do it.
Excellent play. Everyone on this Vipers team is absolutely insanely talented. Look at Fear Classic. Sets it up in a spot where Turbo isn't even close to being in. Turbo reads it, just has to do a light tap it just like that. This is, I think, what the Barracudas and anyone who is not a fan of Dynasties was scared of. The Vipers have come alive, and they are looking for blood.
There goes Slayer. It's going to be kept in the corner of the field there. Nice play from Fear Classic there. They're not going to let any sort of clear come through from the Barracudas. Now Slayer off of the backboard, up and to the left, is going to follow up. Fear Classic follows it up off the backboard again. Magic gets demoed. Opportunity for the Vipers, and they take full advantage of it.
And this is what I talked about between games 1 and 2 that I expected to see. Is Turbo taking a bit more of an aggressive role. He's been hanging out in the goal a lot for a lot of the games we've seen. Now he's all over the place on that blue side. And he, dominating the medals once again. 3 shots, 2 goals, a pair of assists as well. He's played a role in every single goal for the Vipers, and now Magic and company trying to get one back. Visible Prodigy shot turned away. Fear Classic steals it in the corner. Quez gonna bump it in reverse. Magic shot. Ooh, nice save by Slayer. And Turbo's gonna look for a clear as Magic just tries to make something happen for his team.
Now at midfield, Prodigy pushing it back towards the Vipers' goal. They have yet to score any sort of goal, the Barracudas. Really, the Barracudas haven't really let the Vipers get any sort of huge lead. The most that they have done up into this game is really just maybe a 1-goal lead here or there, but this is such a different game here and a completely new Vipers team that we're seeing in terms of spirit and gameplay. That win in the 3rd game definitely gave them a spring in their step. And Turbo gets a nice save there. Prodigy is going to try to set it up again for the follow-up, but Quez misses there. There comes Magic with another follow-up. Barracuda's on the board.
Yeah, just a complete defensive breakdown here for the Vipers. You see nobody's in the goal. Players are going the wrong direction. Magic takes advantage of that. Slayer flat tired, if you will. Tried to get up in the air, just not quite able to. But that 4-1 lead still very comfortable for the Vipers. Would expect them to maybe add on to it as they win another great kickoff. Quez waiting, though. Able to clear back towards midfield. Slayer right there, just going to bump it down. Visible Prodigy, not the clear he wanted. Trying to pass it over to Magic. And a little bit of miscommunication as Prodigy ends up taking it himself. Now Quez charging in, doesn't even get close to that ball.
And an open goal left by the Barracudas is going to be punished by Turbo there.
Yeah.
See, just completely committed to the to the clear there and just misses.
Yeah, unfortunately, Visible Prodigy and Magic, I think Magic thought it was going to be a pass. Visible Prodigy wanted to take it himself, and that kind of broke the rotation down. There's a demolition from Quez onto Fear Classic, but too little, too late, potentially, as Magic maybe needs a goal right here. Stopped by Fear Classic. Turbo now lining that ball up. He's going to let Visible Prodigy come flying into him. Stops that ball perfectly. Quez, one last attempt. Magic can't quite get a nose on it. Fear Classic just going to keep this one away. Visible Prodigy's shot goes very wide of the net. Wants one more chance here. Magic in great position. Ball just bumped out of the way, and the Vipers defense holds strong.
1 minute, 15 seconds left. Some sort of goal needs to come through here from the Barracudas if they have any chance, and a huge clear back toward their goal is not going to be what they're looking for. Even though they get a demo against Turbos, there's no let up in the pressure that the Vipers are putting on here. Now there goes Magic up in mid-air. Gets the clear blocked by Fear Classic, but still coming through there. I think that was from Quez off the backboard and just off to the left there. That's unfortunate.
Slayer just looking for a clear. 40 seconds left. 4 goals is going to be very hard, especially when Turbo's making plays like that. One more chance, hits off the crossbar. And that ball's just going to be cleared down to the blue side. We'll see if anybody wants to make a play on it. Turbo's there himself. Slayer sees an opportunity. Quez just hit it out of the way, and as time ticks down, we get closer and closer to an inevitable Game 5 for our first ever chance at a BFC qualifier from the Esports Tower Rumble.
15 seconds left. Not a whole lot of opportunity for the Barracudas to come back here, so they're just going to have to watch this clock tick down and recompose their thoughts and get ready for a Game 5. All the ball has to do is touch the ground, and the Vipers will have driven this to all the games that could possibly be played in the final. And a final demo onto Quez there is going to push the Vipers to Game 5. And this is really kind of a historic event in terms of Esports Tower. I think this is the first time the Vipers have been to Game 5, and have we actually ever seen a Game 5 in the finals?
Not from when I started. I started a few weeks in, so apologies to the first couple of weeks if there was a Game 5, but I don't think we've ever seen a Game 5 in the finals. And no, we've never seen the Vipers there as well, so this is definitely going to be a test for both these teams, but you just saw how Game 4 went. You would have to believe the Vipers to sort of come alive. You needed it if you're a Barracudas fan. You needed that dagger in Game 3, because the longer you poke the sleeping bear, eventually he will wake up, and that's exactly what the Vipers did. I think Turbo has kind of recognized that defensive play style that might have worked in the semifinals is not what his team needed. They needed him to be that all-around superstar, and that's exactly what he's done. He assisted on so many goals. Him and Slayer are just fantastic, and now it's our first ever chance to crown somebody's going to the BFC Championships to play with content creators and pro players in Rocket League. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be the Barracudas, or is it going to be the Vipers? History says it's going to be the Vipers. They've never lost when they've been in a final, but the Barracudas have come out strong as we kick off game number 5. Advantage here for the Barracudas in blue, but Fear Classic makes a great save as Quez goes chasing for it. One more chance for Quez. Going to get turned away by Fear Classic. A Visible Prodigy shot wide off the net, and Turbo's right there.
It's going to be stopped by Magic midfield, who now looks with Quez to push it up past Turbo. It's going to be diverted right off to the corner there. Now Prodigy stops the clear and push coming through from Vipers. Follow-up from Slayer there, and Fear Classic midfield. That's going to be successful in getting the Vipers some side control.
Turbo's going to take a shot. Visible Prodigy started to figure that one out, waiting there in the wings. Slayer can't quite follow it up as Visible Prodigy will dunk it beneath him. And now Magic looking to set a play up. Ball gets pinched off a pair of members as Quez and Slayer both chasing after it. Turbo can't find it either. Opportunity for the Barracudas. Here comes Magic. He just hits the crossbar. So close. Now Slayer wants to go on the counterattack. Plays it around a couple, but Prodigy with a great save. We'll stay at a 0-0 game after the first minute.
Midfield, there comes Quez there. Great shot. Going to be off the backboard. Can they follow it up from Magic? Magic, oh, just off to the right. That was a great try there from the Barracudas. They cannot leave an open goal, though, and let themselves be scored on by the Vipers, and they're going to keep their push going. Prodigy is going to be stopped in mid-air by Fear Classic. Magic is going to set it up for Quez, who pushes it right off the backboard. Oh, not quite there, but man, they are really trying.
Ooh, Slayer trying to set something up. Magic just going to clear it away. Quez, uh-oh, bad clear there. Turbo almost gets a nose on it. Fear Classic will challenge the aerial play, and Slayer is going to keep it on that blue side for just a moment longer. Stopped by Quez on the first attempt. Turbo with full boost now. Going to hit it over into the corner. Quez will try and clear it. There's one demo onto the goalie. Fear Classic in a one-on-one! Oh, I thought Quez made the save, but Fear Classic's got our first goal of Game 5.
This is pretty impressive, again, if you consider that the MMR rank for the Vipers is 1900, whereas the Barracudas are 1750. You wouldn't necessarily know that looking at this game. 3 minutes is still plenty of time on the clock for the Barracudas to come roaring back. And I have to say, they have been overall, in terms of how much side control and offense they've been pushing, until that one shot on goal from the Vipers. The Vipers hadn't been able to get any shots on goal. So the really only time that the Vipers managed to get some sort of shot, they were able to find it. And now the Barracudas, if they can continue to push up the field and get more and more shots on the goal, eventually one's going to have to go through.
Fear Classics trying to set up a play there. Both Slayer and Turbo playing a bit more defensive. They will eventually Turbo hit that ball into the corner to keep that play alive, as side control has now become all Vipers, as Slayer just teardrops that one from the midfield stripe. What a goal, and as you mentioned, Jem, the longer and longer you let shots go on goal, eventually one of them is just going to find the back of the net.
Now it's more important than ever for the Barracudas to get some sort of favorable kickoff here. We'll see, Prodigy gets the better of that. Fear Classic was there from behind to follow it up. Turbo's going to hit the ground beat. Oh, nice from Visible Prodigy. So now he's going to play with Fear Classic. Plays it around Fear Classic as well. That's going to have to leave it up to Slayer to get the demo. Unfortunately for the Barracudas, Quez is going to be taken out for a few seconds. Now has to respawn. Quez now has full boost and is going to come right in there and get the goal right off the nose there. And now he's going to try to push it up the field. Isn't going to find it due to the block from Turbo. Now Slayer with the follow-up. Invisible Prodigy is going to come in there for a well-needed save.
And the problem for the Barracudas is they don't need saves. They need goals right now, as we're starting to run out of time, and they really haven't mustered much offense in the last few minutes, as Visible Prodigy's able to get it over into the corner. Wants to maybe play it himself. He'll just get demoed in the process, and now a clear is going to try and come out here from Fear Classic. Quez stops him. The ball's immediately hit back to that blue side. We're under 90 seconds left in Game 5, and the Vipers have not let up, as Quez now and Visible Prodigy kind of combine. They double commit on that ball, which leaves Fear Classic with a wide open net. Magic's able to clear it away, but the Barracudas need shots. They don't need saves.
Ooh, nice pop off the roof there for Magic, just off the crossbar. Isn't able to find the goal. That was such a nice opportunity there. Quez is going to get demoed again for this match. He's now going to respawn, move over to the field contestant, misses. Invisible Prodigy gets a goal, and death by glory as he manages to get a save.
Yeah, we have seen, unfortunately for the Barracudas, several great shots just hit off the crossbar in this Game 5, which is the worst time for it to happen. Long pass here, 30 seconds left. They probably need a goal now to have a chance at a comeback. Quez got to take one. Oh, but Turbo's going to turn that one away. One more chance here. Quez can't quite stop Turbo from his clear. He's going to play it towards midfield. Magic's going to pop it up in the air, but unfortunately that timer's ticking down. Magic makes a great save, but I think it's going to be in a losing effort unless he can score right here. Turbo's last man to beat, and of course, Turbo makes a great save.
Yeah, great last-minute defense coming out from the Vipers. If two of their members get played around, the third is always there back toward the goal to save it. Last-minute opportunity to goal, but they're just going to knock it to the side. And Vipers, with a reverse sweep nonetheless, are able to take the championship. And this is the championship to take as they move on to BFC to play in that tournament. And that makes them 7-time Rumble champions. What an amazing performance to come back and take the victory and keep their winning streak going.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that overall the gap is closing between the Vipers and the rest of the Esports Tower teams because, I mean, this is the first time they've ever been taken into a Game 5, and so I'm very curious to see how future Rumbles go, but I do think the rest of the Esports Tower is catching up to the Vipers.
Well, they're going to really enjoy all the coaches looking at the VODs from this particular week. Making each player improve, and VOD reviews are a great way to improve your game and learn as a team. It's all part of the services that you get from Esports Tower. To unlock your true talent, you can go to esportstower.com to find out more information of how you can get involved in all of this, not just in Rocket League, but in other games too, like Valorant, which you're going to want to see us host on Wednesdays. Well, congratulations to the Vipers for winning their game. Fish, do you have any sort of predictions in terms of who you would name player of the game?
I think that it's going to be a very tough choice. I would have to say it's probably going to come down to Slayer and Turbo. Those are two of the go-to players. I think Fear Classic had a couple of moments as well, but I would assume that probably Turbo or Slayer would be my choices. I think that you could also maybe give it to Quez as well, but I think I usually favor the winning team, and in this situation, it's probably going to be Slayer popped up early. I think Turbo is the reason they won the championship, so either of those is a very deserving choice.
Yeah, I think it's normally Turbo that we consider, but I think if you were to spread it around for the Vipers, I think Slayer had a really good, had so many great plays there and follow-ups and just attacks on the goal that I wouldn't be surprised if it is indeed Slayer. It's actually going to be Magic, though, which I wanted to bring up. If you wanted to give it to the other team, the Barracudas, you know, we normally do Quez, but Magic was so just overall consistent in being able to make so many great plays for the Barracudas.
Yeah, I think Magic and Visible Prodigy, who, as we said, we did not see in the semifinal. We did see him in the group stage, and we saw him in the championship. I think they've performed very, very well, and I think either of them was deserving. I thought Visible Prodigy, especially on the defensive end, which sometimes is a little bit harder to get your player of the game for just defensive highlights. But I think Magic and Visible Prodigy alongside Quez, as I said before the grand final started, give them 2 weeks. I think this team can knock off the Vipers no problem. It's that communication the Vipers have built up over multiple Rumbles that I think gives them that slight edge. And you give the Barracudas 2 or 3 weeks with this team, maybe even 1 with how they performed today, I definitely think they have a great chance. And so Magic, a very deserving ICCU player as well.
Brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success. That's going to make Magic your ICCU player of the game. A big congratulations to the Vipers, and good luck as you move on to BFC. We're going to see how you do overall in that tournament, since for these weekly tournaments, you have definitely made your name known. Well, that's going to do it for us, and this team had a great showing this week by winning the event. The Vipers qualify for the Box Fight Champs Rocket League Forco Cup this Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We're excited to see what this team can do against Rocket League pro players and content creators. And if you want to find out more, you can go to esportstower.com/BFC. That's going to do it for us this week, and we will leave you with some of the top plays of the game, brought to you by Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take critical thinking skills into real time with more than $20,000, 10 positions offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you for watching, and you have a good one.
Legendary sniper into hitting the ball so they can take advantage of it. We'll do just that as Fear Classic challenges him. One chance here from Astro. Not able to find it, and we see Sir Wolf go underneath that ball as well.
There goes Sir Classic getting demoed. But is that going to translate into an advantage that the Wolves can take? Oh, that is a very lucky sort of own goal there. I'm sure it wasn't intentional from the Vipers.
You see Fear Classic probably just trying to jump out of the way of that ball.
Going to be passing over to Sunky, bounces it off the wall. Goal is pretty open there for the Barracudas, and that's taken advantage of by Spooky, who gets the goal.
Yeah, and this is what the Red Mammoths needed to do. They need to be able to just find ways to score goals in this game, even if they lose. They can build that confidence for game 2 and potentially... He's able to clear it away.
Spooky in midair is going to glaive that. Oh, I thought that was clear coming through there, but clickbait proved me wrong.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. You didn't need to win the last game. You just needed to find out ways that you could score and maybe win games 2 and game 3, and that's exactly what for the Vipers in their rumbles. He needs a big one here as Quez trying to put it away. Prodigy hits it home. And a 4-1 lead with just over a minute left is not where anyone expected game 1 was going to go between these two teams.
Turbo is left in the goal there, doesn't have the time.
Gonna hit it over into the corner. Quez will try and clear it. There's one demo onto the goalie. Fear Classic in a one-on-one! Oh! I thought Quez made the save, but Fear Classic's got our first goal of game 5.
This is pretty impressive, again, if you consider that the MMR rank for the Vipers is 1900, whereas the Barracudas